Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about ear equalization in scuba diving. A lot of people have concerns about ear equalization, and rightly so. If you don't know any of the techniques, definitely you'll have way too much pressure going down. So one of the important components is understanding what's exactly is going on. So a lot of you know that we have eustachian tubes on each side of our ears going into our throat, and they're usually closed and they're considered dead air spaces. So what we want to do with scuba diving is we want to actually open up those eustachian tubes, put pressure in there so it equalizes with our environment. And since going underwater there's a lot of pressure, we are going to learn how to pressurize our ears, hence equalizing ourselves to the environment. One of the first ones is called the Valsava Maneuver, and basically you're just pinching your nose and you're just blowing into your nose. But we have to be really careful, because if your ears in any way are pressurized too much, and there's a problem with your eustachian tubes, you can tend to overblow. So we don't want that to happen. So by all means, always very easy, never over blow into your nose. We don't want to cause any damage in our middle ear. There's many small structures in there, and so I urge you, just very gently. The next one is the Toynbee maneuver, and that's just when you pinch your nostrils and you just swallow. You should hear popping, you should hear crackling, you should hear your ears, both sides, popping with that one. The next one is the Lowry Technique, and it's a combination of the Valsalva and the Toynbee maneuver. So basically you're blowing into your nose and swallowing at the same time. That one works really well for me. I tend to use that one a lot. And the Edmunds Technique is another technique, and basically what you're doing is you're pushing on the palate by closing your throat, using your tongue to the palate, and you're swallowing. And that opens it up as well. Those tend to be a lot easier than the blow format, though you see most people are equalizing with the blow. Just be very gentle. Some tips that I can offer you is always, it's a good idea to practice equalizing your ears a couple hours before you're planning your dive. Get those eustachian tubes flexing, get them used to being open, and you'll find that they're a lot easier once you're in the water. Also, go feet first. That tends to be a lot easier, and once you go head first, you're adding 50% more pressure to try to equalize. So hence you can inadvertently overpressurize, putting too much pressure in your ears. We don't want that. So go feet first. Always, if you're not very good with your buoyancy and you're on a boat dive or whatever, use a ladder, go nice and slow. There's no big rush to getting to the bottom. Equalize. There's no harm in over equalizing. Just always be very gentle. Also, they say if you drink or smoke, sometimes that can be more difficult. If you're finding that you're going down but your ears aren't equalizing, you're feeling some pressure in there, go up a little bit, not much, just a little bit. Try equalizing. If that's not working, go up a little bit more, equalize. Once you hear that pop, that crackle, then you can slowly go back down. Just always equalize right throughout the whole dive. Just good practice. Breathe let pain. Always equalize before you experience any pain whatsoever. Again, we'll go through them. You got the Valsalva, where you're breathing into your nose effectively, nice and soft. The other one, the Toynbee, that's when you're plugging your nose and you're swallowing, opening up your ear channels. The other one is the Lowry Technique, that's when you're blowing into your nose and swallowing. Again, that's the one that works really well for me. And the Edmunds Technique, that's when you're taking your tongue, pushing on your palate, closing your throat, swallowing. They also say by lifting your neck a little bit when you're trying to do that, if it makes it easier to open up those eustachian tubes. So yeah, give that a practice. It's never something you don't have to wait till you're diving to practice it. It can come in quite useful if you're not even experienced with getting your head under the water. I know a lot of people, even in a pool, they have ear pressure problems. So definitely practice this. Pick up the phone, take a scuba diving course now that you know how to equalize. And yeah, it'll change your world and you'll never look back. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Carole Anne Love. If you like this video, please subscribe. Have a great day.